So in this lesson, we'll be looking at custom snack bars. Custom snack bars are very similar to bottom sheets. The only difference is that bottom sheets are really messages that you'll get at the bottom of your screen, whilst custom snack bars can be anywhere on your screen. So for example, let's say here on this home screen, we wanted a way of being able to log out. So maybe we'd have three little dots here on the right hand side, and when you clicked on it, you'd get a little pop-up with, do you want to log out? So this would be a custom snack bar. So let's try and recreate this. So the first thing we need to do is create a component. So let's add a new component, create blank, and let's call it log out. And then here we first create a column. This column needs to be like this here. This is because we don't want it to take the whole column. We really want it just to take the elements within the column. Then we add a container and we can set the dimensions of this container. So width of 250 and height of 150. And then in this container, let's add a stack. In this stack, we add a button and an icon. Perfect. And let's also bring this all up. We can take the button and we can set it to the center bottom. Great. And then we call this button log out. And let's put a little bit of padding. Let's say 40. And we increase the width of it to 200. Great. And then this other icon here, let's just pull it ourselves, put it here. Great. And we change this to a cross. Perfect. So now we have a logout pop-up. So now we go back to the home screen and let's add three little dots here. So the first thing is we need to wrap our text, wrap widget into a row. And here we also add an icon. And in the row, let's just put them completely apart. And then the icon, we need to change it. So let's info or more. Perfect. And then let's change this color to white as well. Great, we have now our little three dots here. And now let's just add the action so that this logout appears. So to do this, we just go to the actions, add an action, and we have custom dialog, and then here we just have to select a component. It's a logout component, and then what we can do now is we can, let's say, just align it to the center. So we'll put it right in the middle. Let's just test this out first, and then afterwards we'll try to align it more properly next to the icon. And then let's just go back to the logout. The last thing that we need to also do is this little icon here. We want it to close the custom pop-up. So let's just add an action and then dismiss custom dialog. Great. And now let's test this out. So here's our home screen. We can click on this and then we get this little logout screen and we can remove it. We can also just click here and click somewhere else and it goes away. Perfect. That works nicely. Now let's try to bring it just next to our little dots. So going back here, what we can do is going back to home's page. We go back to the action bar here. So to get a pop-up to align here, just on the left and at the bottom of our icon, what we'll need to do is first turn on align with the target widget. And then here we first have to, this is our dialog alignment. So we first want to click this here. So we want the corner of our dialog alignment, this top right hand corner, to touch the icon. And so the icon here, what we want is to touch this corner here of icon. So here we'd have it. So you'll have now the pop-up that'll come just nicely here. What you can also do to avoid overflow, so if maybe this icon goes over one side or another of the screen, you can just add this. It's always better to keep it on. We'll keep it off for now just so that you can see that it's been properly aligned, but in future reference it's nice to keep it on. So let's test this out. So if we click here, we can see it's perfect. This corner here touches the corner of this little icon here, as we wanted, and we can cross it, and it's perfect. That's it for this lesson.